New York City, the constipated colossus of the East Coast, a concrete jungle where dreams are made of. New York has always been synonymous with skyscrapers, glass and steel giants piercing the clouds, symbols of human ingenuity and capitalist excess. But what was New York's skyline like before these titans rose up? What stories do the buildings tell us about the city's past? Small windows were set high up on the facade, and the interiors featured large fireplaces for cooking and heating. The footprint of these homes was kept small on purpose, since the Dutch settlers lived primarily on their boats or on the second floor of their houses. Inspired by classical ideals and symmetry, this style used brick as its primary material and included elements such as a hipped roof, large chimneys, and Palladian windows. The interiors were designed for hospitality, often featuring grand stair halls and reception rooms. They were usually 5 to 7 stories tall and crammed into cramped lots, sometimes lacking basic amenities. Several new architectural styles emerged, each reflecting the city's changing tastes and technological advancement. With its intricate stonework, pointed arches, and soaring towers, Gothic architecture evoked a sense of history and romanticism. It started as a planned community called the Green Village in 1811 and was laid out in a grid pattern with tree-lined streets. Initially intended as a place for wealthy landowners to build vacation homes, it gradually attracted a mix of social classes. The area became known for its lively bohemian culture in the early 20th century. Both buildings reflect the optimism and technological advancements of the era, symbolizing New York's position as a global metropolis. Designed by Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, it stands as one of the first modern glass skyscrapers in New York. The building's interiors featured column-free spaces with floor-to-ceiling windows, fostering teamwork and openness. The concept of corporate branding through architecture was exemplified by Leatherhouse, influencing generations of office building design. Architects experimented with color, bold geometric forms, and references to historical styles. Nicknamed the Chippendale Building due to its ornate top that resembles a piece of furniture from that era. The Sony Building challenges the notion that postmodern architecture lacks seriousness. If you want to learn more about any of the buildings or periods covered in this video, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to check out our channel for more architectural journeys. See you next time. With its granite base, glass shaft, and sculpted crown, it successfully combines historical references with modern functionality. The building's minimal aesthetic, featuring bronze and glass, revolutionized office design and set a new standard for corporate elegance. Despite the stark differences in appearance, both eras demonstrate the city's relentless pursuit of innovation and its dedication to pushing the boundaries of design and engineering. Its setbacks and curtain wall system were innovative at the time and continued to influence contemporary skyscrapers. The Chrysler Building features an 185-foot stainless steel spire with sun-catching star patterns and eagles. Completed in 1985, the building's colorful brick facade breaks away from the international style norm and embraces the surrounding urban context. Its dynamic form and playful use of color demonstrate the postmodernist desire to challenge conventional norms and engage with the community through architecture. Meanwhile, the Empire State Building boasts a 104-foot aluminum mast crowned with a 12-foot bronze statue of a female figure named Progress. Soon, the streets of New York were lined with skyscrapers. The city's desire to rebuild and modernize led to the embrace of new materials, technologies, and design philosophies. This era, roughly spanning from the 1950s to the 1970s, is often referred to as the International Style Period. The Flatiron Building, completed in 1902, is widely regarded as the first skyscraper, standing 22 stories tall. It was the tallest building in the world for a short time and epitomized the new possibilities offered by steel construction. These buildings reflect a variety of architectural styles, including a Romanesque, and Queen Anne, contributing to the village's eclectic character. The Woolworth Building, complete in 1930, is considered the last great monument of the Beaux-Arts era in New York. Designed by Cass Gilbert, it reaches 60 stories and incorporates elements from Gothic, Renaissance, and Art Deco styles. Its terracotta facade is adorned with intricate details and sculptures, making it a prominent landmark in Lower Manhattan. The streets were also purposely kept narrowed to hinder the spread of fires, which were common in densely populated areas. This period saw an influx of immigrants and rapid urbanization, leading to the construction of row houses and tenement buildings to accommodate the swelling population. The row houses were typically 3 to 6 stories tall and were built close together along narrow streets, creating a dense urban fabric that was characteristic of working-class neighborhoods. These buildings were mostly constructed from brownstone, a durable and attractive material quarried in nearby New Jersey. The popularity of brownstone reached its peak in the 80s, and many of these houses remain standing, contributing to the unique character of neighborhoods like Brooklyn Heights and Park Slope. The best surviving example of this original architecture is the Wyckoff Farmhouse Museum, a 1652 structure that stands today in Brooklyn. And how has the skyline shaped and been shaped by the events and innovations that have defined the last century? The first European settlement, however, was a fur trading post established by the Dutch West India Company in 1624. It was originally called New Amsterdam, later renamed to New York after the English conquest of 1664 in honor of the Duke of York. The town's early architecture was a reflection of its humble origins as a modest fur trading colony. The buildings were primarily constructed from locally sourced materials such as wood and brick. Think of it as Dutch colonial architecture meets frontier practice. During this period, the most common building type was the 2-story brick home with a steep gable roof. As the settlement grew, larger commercial buildings were constructed from stone and brick, often incorporating Dutch elements like gambrel roofs and decorative brick. In the mid-18th century, Georgian architecture began to emerge as the colonies transitioned towards independence and became the United States. The growth of New York continued throughout the 19th century, and the city began to take on the character we associate with cities today. Tenements, on the other hand, were multifamily dwellings designed to maximize space and generate income. As the 19th century progressed, New York's skyline began to change dramatically. Gothic revivalism was also popular during this period, seen in structures like the New York Public Library's main branch. Meanwhile, further north, a neighborhood called Greenwich Village developed around Washington Square. The mid-19th century saw the rise of industrialization and new technologies that transformed the way buildings were constructed. Cast iron buildings were praised for their beauty, strength, and practicality. Today, Soho boasts the largest concentration of cast iron architecture in the world. The invention of the elevator in 1853 was a game changer for tall buildings, allowing them to reach new heights. With its triangular shape forced by the limitations of the site and innovative use of steel, the Flatiron Building pushed the boundaries of engineering and design. The Chrysler Building, completed in 1930, is a masterpiece of Art Deco design. After World War II, New York's architectural scene underwent a significant transformation. The Seagram Building, completed in 1958, is a prime example of this shift. Another iconic building from this period is Leverhulme, completed in 1952. Known for its sleek glass curtain wall, Leverhulme redefined corporate identity and transparency in architecture. These modern structures stand in contrast to the ornate, classically inspired skyscrapers of the earlier decades.